Namaste, beautiful beings. Welcome to this very grounding practice inspired by the root chakra or the muladhara chakra. So we'll be focusing on the base of the spine, the legs, and the feet, and our connection to earth. So the muladhara chakra is all about being grounded, feeling a sense of security and safety or belonging. It's about survival and the ability to support ourselves or to stand on our own two feet. And if you didn't already know, chakras are like wheels of energy. So there are 7 main chakras that are aligned along our central channel, just in front of the spine, and this is the first chakra. So you might like to think of chakras as organisational centres or portals. And I like to sometimes think of them like flowers. It's a balance. We want the flower, the chakra, to blossom open, so we don't want it to stay closed and stuck and blocked or rigid, but we don't want it to be so open that there is collapse, that the petals of the flower fall off and we leak, for example, or collapse. So it's always a balance, as with everything, isn't it? So let's get started. If you've got a couple of blocks, have them nearby, but you don't need to use blocks. I just enjoy using them at the moment because I'm pregnant, but they're not necessary. And we are going to start together seated in Baddha Konasana. So we'll meet with the soles of the feet together and the knees separating. And then you might just bring your hands to the ankles, the fronts of the shins, or to the feet. And we're just going to take a moment to sit tall, and you might just close the eyes as a way to just help you to arrive in the body, anchoring down through your sitting bones. And as you're ready, we'll take a deep, full inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to start to gently fold over the legs, but taking our time to journey into the forward fold today. And we're going to be here for a handful of breaths, just gently folding forward in Baddha Konasana. Lots of forward folds in our practice together today. And as you arrive here in this gentle forward fold, just starting to bring your awareness to the base of the spine, into the legs, into the feet, and just noticing the sensations for you here. Perhaps also sensing into the plane of contact between your body and the mat or earth. And considering or sensing into or attuning to the qualities of earth for you. Solid, dense, stable, heavy, secure, nurturing. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. And we're going to move nice and slowly today, traveling at earth time. So on your next in-breath, we'll gently come upright, draw the knees towards one another, and let's meet together now in a child's pose. And because this practice is pregnancy friendly, if you prefer to, you can have the knees a little wider than the hips to create space for belly or space for baby. But let's reach the arms together today. Arms reaching forward and forehead toward the mat. And if the forehead is in contact with the mat, you might just gently rock the forehead across the mat, side to side, enjoying this point of connection with earth here. Feeling the weight of the bones, the architecture of your body as it settles into child's pose. One more breath. And now let's keep this groundedness together, and we'll inhale to all fours. And if you're pregnant, you might stay here and arch and round the spine through cat-cow, especially if you're a little bit further through your pregnancy. Otherwise, you can exhale, bend the elbows, lower to the belly. Inhaling, low cobra pose. And exhaling, back to child's pose. Let's do this twice more. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale to lower. Inhale, low cobra, or getting a little higher if you prefer. And exhale, back to child's pose. One more together at your own pace. Steady, grounded. And the next time you arrive in child's pose, from here we'll move together to all fours, curl the toes under, and we'll lift the hips up and back to a downward facing dog. And just take your time to settle in here, making any little movements that you like to make, maybe bicycling through the legs. And if down dog doesn't feel good for you today, you might lower the knees and take a half down dog. Big step of the hands forward, lowering the forehead and the chest toward the mat. And whatever you've chosen, really feel as though you're plugging in to earth through the hands, through the feet, drawing nourishment and grounded energy up from earth into your body. Intentionality in the feet and the toes. And just one more breath here, beautiful ones. And remember, if you enjoy practicing together with me, then you can subscribe later at the end of the practice so that you know when the next practice is available for you. We're going to go on a little journey through the chakras over the next few weeks, so that might be interesting for you. Okay, so from your downward dog or your half down dog, let's step our feet forward to the hands now, arriving in a forward fold at the top of the mat. And because the root chakra is all about stability and security and steadiness, let's have the feet hip-width distance apart today. Nice stable base. Then inhale, hands to shins, lift the chest, lengthen halfway. Exhale to fold. And again, inhale, feet anchored down, lift and lengthen, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Next in breath, we'll rise, strong legs, reaching upwards. And on the exhalation, hands to heart, Tadasana. standing like a mountain. So we'll move into our flow together, a nice slow flow. We're really kind of coming out of the head into the body, slowing down. So let's come into tree pose, staying at the top of your mat. We'll shift the weight into the left foot, pick up the right foot, bring the sole of the foot to the inner left leg, left calf, or maybe a little higher onto the thigh here. And as you find your balance, it's nice to think of your base here. The base of your left big toe, the base of your left little toe, and the center of your left heel anchoring down. And if it helps you, you might imagine that you're practicing on rich, nutrient-filled soil, and you're just able to bury your toes into the mat, into the soil, into the earth. And then from there you might reach the arms upward. Stay here with me, one more breath. And then on the exhalation, we're going to release the right foot and step back to crescent lunge. Right foot landing at the back of the mat here. High lunge, crescent lunge. And staying in the lunge, beautiful ones, we'll release the arms, interlace the fingers, and as you anchor through the feet, reach the knuckles back and down and lift the chest. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, let's offer the heart forward. Lean forward, offering the heart toward earth, leaning over the front thigh. And it's nice to really practice the steadiness, the stability in the transitions in our practice, especially in a practice like this. So from here, we'll keep the interlace of the hands and step the back foot forward and arrive back in a forward fold with the hands interlaced behind us, folding over the legs once again at the top of the mat. And then we'll let the hands go, let them return to earth. And turn the toes out, bend the knees, squatting down into Malasana, yogi squat. And you might choose to keep the hands on earth if that feels really nice and nourishing, grounding for you. Or you might bring the hands together at the heart. If you are using blocks or you have a block, maybe you even take advantage of that to just sit on the block and have another point of connection from the base of your spine to earth through the block. And wherever you are, let's see if we can bring our awareness now, bring our eyes out of our head down into our feet. And you might even close the eyes here, sensing into the connection to earth through the feet. And even if the heels are lifted, that's absolutely fine. Connecting to earth through the balls of the feet. Take another conscious, steady, beautiful breath here. And then we'll release together. Release the hands, remove the block, lift the hips, fold forward and step your right foot back into Rana's lunge. And then we'll pivot over to the right side of the mat, turning towards the long edge of the mat here. Feet parallel and we'll fold. You might bring index finger and middle finger around the big toes today, folding into Prasarita Padottanasana D. Or maybe you're holding the outer leg, outer ankles, and it's totally okay to have a little bend in the knees too. And as we fold here, will be just a couple more breaths, a handful more breaths here. See if you can stay grounded in the sensations in the body. Next in-breath, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. And here's where you need strong legs anchoring the feet into the earth as you bring the hands to the waist, press down and rise. Let's turn our left toes forward and our right toes in a little. Bend the front knee, the left knee, warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. And as we settle here for just a couple more breaths, sense into that groundedness that you're cultivating through the legs, the feet, and a gentle lengthening of your tail towards earth. Steady foundations, secure foundations, so that you can blossom upwards through the spine and reach out through the arms. One more breath. And then we'll circle the hands to the mat, pivot to the ball of the back foot, a nice big step forward, back to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands back to the heart, grounded in Tadasana. Let's move straight to second side, darling ones. So shifting the weight into the right foot, picking up the left foot into tree pose. And the color associated with this chakra, the first chakra, muladhara chakra, is a deep red. Maybe a little bit like the red of these leggings that I happen to be wearing. So if it's helpful to you, you might visualize that color or visualize this beautiful, rich, red clay or the color of the red over your legs and over your feet. One more breath here, reaching the arms if you haven't already. And then we'll transition together, releasing the left foot from the thigh or the inner calf and stepping back. Hands behind us, interlace the fingers, reach back and down, lift the heart. And then offering the chest forward again, over the front thigh. And here comes that transition, stepping the back foot forward and folding back into Uttanasana at the top of the mat, hands interlaced behind. And if you needed to let go of the interlace of the hands to step forward, that's absolutely okay. Releasing the hands to earth, and one more time to Malasana, toes turning out slightly, bend the knees, squatting down. And if the heels are lifted, because for some of us the heels will be lifted, it's a lovely opportunity to play with balance here. Maybe even closing the eyes again, bringing the eyes down into the feet, down towards the base of your spine. Another breath. And then we release, hands to mat, lift the hips, turn the toes forward. And this time we step our left foot back into runner's lunge and start to pivot towards the left hand side. So we come into that wide-legged forward fold again over the legs. And this side, the invitation is for you to choose what feels most grounded, safe, nourishing, stable posture for you. So maybe the hands come between the feet. Maybe the hands walk back between the legs. Maybe the hands stay in contact with the legs in some way. And some of us might even find that the crown of the head meets earth. So if that is the case for you, enjoying that extra point of contact with the support beneath you with earth. We have to be in our heads a lot for our day-to-day lives, many of us. So it's important to connect to the body again, ground into the body, stay connected to earth. Last breath. And then on the in-breath, hands under the shoulders, lift the chest, lengthen. Hands to waist, press into the feet, and we'll rise. Warrior 2 second side, so we turn the right toes forward, the back toes in a little nice deep bend of the front knee, arms reaching. Last breath here. And then exhale, hands to the mat once again. And let's step back to downward dog, or if you prefer child's pose or the half down dog. And if you're coming with me today, inhale, lower the knees to the mat. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. And again, inhale to all fours, just as we did at the beginning. Exhale to the belly. Take a moment to touch the forehead to earth, to the mat. Slow cobra pose. Inhale. And back to a downward facing dog. One more down dog or child's pose. And in planning this class, or this practice for you this week, I was trying to remember when was the last time I walked in bare feet on earth. And I was surprised that it was actually quite a while ago. When was the last time you wore bare feet and walked across the earth, or perhaps maybe even just in the sand on the beach? And if you're in downward dog, last breath here before we gently lower the knees to the mat. And let's come and sit now, sitting with the legs out in front of us in Dandasana for a moment. And you might just take a moment to choose to sit the hips up on a folded blanket or cushion if you are tight through the backs of the legs today. We'll close with another forward fold, this time closing with Paschimottanasana. And we'll do it similarly to how we did the first forward fold, taking a moment, taking a moment to anchor through the backs of the heels, the calves, the sitting bones. And on the in-breath, reaching the arms And as you're ready, even if you're very, very mobile, lots of flexibility, you might experiment with traveling with me at earth time. Exhale, hands just to the shins. Take an in-breath. Exhaling, maybe a little further forward. And so now with each exhalation, you might journey just a little further into the forward fold. We've got about 5 more breaths or so we've got time. Staying with the meditation of sensing into the support beneath you, drawing strength from and relaxing into this support. Last breath in Paschimottanasana. And then we'll inhale and gently rise, coming all the way back upright. Let's take a moment now to just sit comfortably. You might kneel, you might sit cross-legged, you might sit up on a block. I didn't use the blocks as much as I thought I might today, but anyway, always helpful to have them here. And now let's just take a moment to turn, easy twist to the left, right hand to left leg, left hand behind you. And then release and find your way spiraling to the other side. And then back to center. Rest the hands on the thighs. Or sometimes if I'm feeling a little ungrounded, flighty, agitated or anxious, which this is a really great practice for that, I bring my fingertips to earth again alongside me in some way. And let's just close the practice together briefly, just a moment, allowing the eyes to close or the gaze to travel down towards earth in front of you. And just as we began, sensing into the sensations at the base of the spine, the legs and the feet, the plane of contact between you and earth. Allowing yourself to acknowledge the support of this nutrient-rich earth, held, stable. And trusting that you are exactly where you need to be, exactly where you belong. If you like, you might lift the hands, fold the palms, and join me in the heartfelt wish. May we be safe. May we be secure. And may we feel that we belong where we are. Thank you, beautiful ones, for sharing your practice. Always, always a pleasure. Remember to like or subscribe or share if you feel it might be of benefit to you in the future or for someone else beloved in your life. Thank you so much once again, and I'm sending you all my love. Peace, peace, peace.